Hey, welcome to Riverfront Territory, a Cincinnati Reds podcast on the Foul Territory Network. I am C. Trent Rosecrans of The Athletic, and he is one Danny Graves. Danny Graves, who, crap, I forgot to do my research. I did my research for the other one. He didn't pitch in the 2004 All-Star game, but regale us with your tales of the 2004 All-Star game in Houston, Danny.
So 2004, it was great. Jack McKeon, old manager with the Reds, old manager of mine, was the manager for this particular All-Star game. Um, One thing about this game, it had Roger Clemens starting for the National League and Mike Piazza starting behind the plate for the National League. And you remember all the riffraff between the two. And not saying
That's
anything
right.
was
I remember
was
that
going
now.
on. Yeah, but it was crazy. They both walked out to the bullpens before the game to get loose, and next thing you know, we're down 3-0 after the top of the first to the American League All Stars, and we're like, oh my gosh! Of course, conspiracies going all around, all over the place. But it was a exciting time for me because uh, at that time of the year, I had 33 saves at the break, and I felt like I pitched every single day, and my arm was hurting so bad at this time, and I needed days off, and Jack was great. He came up to a few of us and was like, "I know you guys have played in one of these before, or do you feel like you want to play, or do you want to just get one out, or do you just want to sit back and watch?" And I right away I put my hand up. I said, I'll sit back and watch. I just want to watch. So it was great. It was me. Uh, who else? Armando Benitez,
Mm-hmm.
Levon Hernandez, and Jason Schmidt. Four of us got to just sit there and watch. And it was so relaxing. It was so nice to not have to prepare and not have to touch a baseball for the few days of the All-Star break.
Did you watch that one from the dugout or the bullpen?
Bullpen, the bullpen, because so that year, Eric Gagne was on the All-Star team, and he was that was when he went through his stretch of like 83 straight
Mm-hmm.
saves converted. And I think not long before that, Mike Marshall, the former reliever for the Dodgers, I guess made a comment about Gagne saying that he doesn't pitch enough, and uh, like his record doesn't mean anything because he doesn't pitch as much as I did when I was playing, something to that effect, like not those particular words. And I, as a closer, said something to our media at the time, like, why can't, I was sticking up for Gagne. I'm like, he
Right.
pitches when he's told to pitch. Like, he can't say, let me go out there and pitch 100 innings like this guy did all the time. So,
Yeah.
um, he was down in the bullpen. I want to sit and hang out and just talk and pick his brain a little bit. So we all sat, even Jason Schmidt as a starter and Levon Hernandez as starters. They came and sat in the bullpen. So we all just hung out. It was great.
Wow. It's kind of looking at it like, geez, Clemens finished that, but he gave up 6 runs.
Was it six? Oh, I thought three, but yeah, six.
Yeah. Double,
Miguel, Miguel
double,
Tejada hit a
triple,
homer.
ground out, homer, and then strikeout E4, single, home run, strikeout.
Was
So
Tejada
Manny
one of those
Ramirez
homers?
and Alfonso Soriano hit the homers.
Oh, Tejada might have won the home run derby.
I don't know.
I don't know
Yeah.
why he stands out to me. Anyways, who was MVP of that game?
Where is the MVP? I don't know if it says it on the baseball reference. I'm sure it is. Let's see. Nothing more fun than watching people Google. Um, uh, so yeah. So anyway, that's like I don't know. I love the All Star game, and I think it's pretty cool. And it was Alfonso Soriano, Texas Rangers. Second baseman was 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBI in the American League's 9-4 victory at Minute Maid Park in Houston. Did
Nice.
so? I wanted to ask you about Jack McKeon. So he
Uh-huh.
said, "Did you not? You didn't want to pitch? Did you say, hey Skip, I kind of rake at this field. You need to put me in. I've hit it out of here, and like I don't know if that Bonds guy can do it. I'll hit for him.
Well, I said, yeah, I am like 3 for 5 career at this ballpark. 2 of them are homers. I do have a stolen base at this ballpark. So yeah, if we go like 17 innings and you need a hitter, I'll hit. No, I wish I would have told him that. I didn't even think of that, but man, that would have been hysterical. Jack would have laughed and he would have probably thought I was nuts. Well, he already thought I was nuts. So
Well, what year did you hit your home run there? I'm sorry, I didn't memorize it.
2000 and
Oh,
2001.
okay. So yeah, you had already had it under your belt,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
I,
you could have faced Mark Mulder or let's see, Tim Hudson, Joe Nathan, Mariano Rivera, Francisco Rodriguez, CC Sabathia, Kurt Schilling, Javier Vasquez. I mean, like, there's some dudes there. You could have just been like, no, I got him, Skip. Tom Gordon's going to try to flip that curveball on me. Nah,
yeah.
I'm going to crush it.
Well, I probably should have just told him, Skip, I don't need to hit today because it'll ruin my career batting average here in this ballpark. So let me just sit on these numbers.
You didn't want to face, oh, jeez Louise, the lineup for the AL All-Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Ichiro, Pudge Rodriguez, Vlad Guerrero, Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, Jason Giambi, Derek Jeter, Alfonso Soriano.
That's a lot of those are Yankees.
A lot of those are Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the
And
2000,
a couple of would have been if not for other things.
right. Right. Well, in the 2000 All-Star game, Vlad Sr. was the left fielder for the National League. And we talked on the previous episode. You were in left field in that All-Star game. And then Pudge Rodriguez was the only hit that I gave up in that All-Star game. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm glad I didn't have to face them again. Like
the NL, you had a 2-3-4. Oh, geez. You had Edgar Renteria, Albert Pujols, Barry Bonds, Scott Rowland, Sammy Sosa, Mike Piazza, Lance Berkman, and Jeff Kent hitting 8th.
So if you just look at those 2 lineups, you would think that the National League lineup had more pop, right? And I mean, just by the names that you just threw out for both of them.
Pujols, Bonds, Sosa. Yeah.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I mean, A-Rod, Manny, Vlad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I love like All-Star games. Is just looking back at those.
Yes. So, the old ones for sure are very enjoyable.
Well, let's see who ended that. Well, yeah, because it's like when you were a kid or younger, and not when you're like an old and boring like us. Okay. So after the break, we're going to talk a little bit about this. The two pitchers who pitched the 9th inning in that game were Eric Gagne and Mariano Rivera. So after this message, we will get back and talk closers. Closers with the Reds' all-time saves leader.
If you are still carrying a clunky leather brick that can be mistaken for an old school wallet, may I introduce you to what Eric Kratz is getting himself for the holidays?
I mean, this is the greatest wallet that I've ever seen in my life. Your credit cards fit in here. It's adjustable, lifetime guaranteed. Like like this is a must-have for the holidays. Absolute must-have.
Ridge Olive Matte. That is the design that Kratz has right now, and you can get a hold of that. There's over 50 plus colors and styles to choose from over at Ridge. You can even get a wallet that features every NFL, MLB, or college team. And for a limited time, Ridge is having their huge Black Friday sale. Head to ridge.com/foul to get up to 47% off your order. This is by far the biggest discount they've given all year. That's ridge.com/foul for up to 47% off your order during their biggest sale of the year. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about Ridge. Tell them Foul Territory sent you.
Tell them Foul Territories. Tell them that Riverfront Territory sent you because look at this, my Ridge wallet.
That is awesome.
This is what I paid for. So
That's fantastic.
I didn't get 47% off this. So it's great. It's a great wallet.
You paid full price. It's
Well,
worth it.
I don't know if I paid full price, but I didn't get 47% off.
Ah.
But yeah, it's great.
Get you another one, different color.
Sticks to the phone.
What?
Yeah, it's a magnet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I might have to.
This
get
is
one.
Cash, and this is how much cash I have. There's none.
Oh, I thought that was just something to hold.
Well, there you go. And
Hey, so real quick before you mentioned the lineups of those All-Star games, the reserves on the National League, just to name a few. Well, Casey was a reserve, Sean Casey, Todd Helton, Jim Thome, Barry Larkin, Moises Alou, Carlos Beltran, Ken Griffey Jr., Bobby Abreu, Miguel Cabrera. Yikes.
Yowzers.
Pretty good. Pretty good. But
You
we
know.
still lost.
Yeah. Oh man, looking at the other ones, they had David Ortiz on the bench, Miguel Tejada, Michael Young, Hideki Matsui, and Gary Sheffield.
Yeah.
Did you face Sheffield? I should have this.
In my career, yes.
Like, I can't. Like, I think of all guys, there's guys that you don't want to face because they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are guys that just are like intimidating. I don't know. But if I were a pitcher, I am not a big league pitcher. I did not have that stuff and that confidence and that ability. But like if I saw Gary Sheffield coming up and just, I showed it to one of the kids I coached the other day because he's just so stiff. I was like, hey, you need to loosen up. Watch this. This is a guy, when you see somebody, I was telling him, I was like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, like if you see somebody stiff, they're trying really hard and you're going to get right by him. When you see him that he's relaxed and that's just a play thing that he's waiting. Oh, I loved Gary Sheffield's swing. There was so much violence in it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, if I'm 60 feet 6 inches away, I'm almost doing that softball where you throw it and run back. The way that guy looked.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing. Gary Sheffield, we both grew up in Tampa. He's obviously quite older than, well, not quite, 5 or 6 years older than me.
You guys were all stars together. So not that much older.
1986, he got drafted. He went to Hillsborough High School, and I was 12 years old working, helping work at this tournament every year in Tampa. It's a Tony Saladino Easter tournament. And all the scouts came to see Gary Sheffield, obviously. And I watched him doing that in high school, waving his bat around and hitting balls opposite field home runs as a 17, 18-year-old high school senior. So then fast forward, like, remember, I was 12 watching this just in awe. Fast forward, I get to face him. I believe the very first time I faced him, maybe 1998, he was with the Dodgers. I hit him. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just hit Gary Sheffield. So he gets on first. The next batter grounds out into the double play. Well, he goes in hard, sliding into Larkin, and tries to take Barry out. Barry's like, don't worry about it. That's why I went down real low. He better get his butt down or else he's going to wear it in the face. And I'm like, oh, this is how the big leagues is. It was great. And I felt like, oh, who cares? I don't care that I just hit Gary Sheffield.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Now, Kevin Mitchell might be a different story. Is there anybody you were like actually physically scared of?
Kevin Mitchell was a nice guy though, off the field. Like, I was with him in spring training one year in Cleveland, and he was so cool.
People tell me great stories about Kevin Mitchell, but like,
yeah, you don't want to be on his bad side, obviously.
Lark has great Kevin Mitchell stories.
Oh, I'm sure.
Lark and ED.
Yeah. Well, so I did face Eric Davis, I think.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
He was intimidating because just
same thing.
Look on his, but the look on his face, Him and Albert Pujols kind of had the same look, like just stared you down with this, like, I don't know, this very intimidating, like Clint Eastwood stare. Like, you better not throw me a pitch where I want to hit it, or else I'm going to hit it 1,000 feet. Like those two probably were probably, like, off the top of my head, scary. Not that I thought I was going to get hurt or beat up, but just their look, very intimidating.
Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, Ed was. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of guys scary, but like nicest guy in the world,
Exactly.
and one of the smartest you'll ever see.
Yeah.
So
Love that dude.
yeah, definitely. So anyway,
Okay.
all right, closer. The Reds need a closer. Do you think their closer is on the team right now?
I think to start the year, their closer is on the team right now. I think Tony Santillan is very capable of doing that. I think he's cheaper than going out to get one of these free agent closers that have proven themselves, right? Like, I mean, in my opinion, but as we've seen in this past year, in fact, Emilio Pagán wasn't brought in to be the closer. He turned into the closer and was a great one. So I know a lot of times these guys get opportunities to be the guy at the beginning of the season, and for whatever reason, they can't figure it out and they go to somebody else. But I do believe that Santillan has the ability to close and be that guy to start the year.
Do you worry at all about a guy in Tony Santillan who pitched in 80 games last year?
No, because I was a guy that pitched in 75 in 1999, and like
He was an all-star in 2000, as we discussed on our last episode.
Yeah, I feel like certain guys that can pitch 70 plus games, that they're very durable and that they can take care of their bodies when they're not pitching, because that's really what it's all about. Like, how does he take care of himself in between games or before or after games? I think the durability, obviously, if he becomes the closer, just the ninth inning guy, he's not going to pitch in 80 games. Like, it's just like most closers don't do that. He'll probably, I would imagine, 50s and 60s at the most. But the reason he pitched in 80 games because he's a high leverage guy that whatever situations, that you could bring him in and he'll shut it down. Ninth inning is different. I don't know if we're ready to have this part of the conversation yet, but you come in the seventh inning. If Santillan comes in the seventh inning and has to just shut down a bases loaded, nobody out situation, that might be his only appearance or his only, time in that game. Somebody else might come in for the next inning, but he got out of that big time situation. Ninth inning, you're not going to come in with bases loaded, nobody out usually,
Yeah.
So it's different. It's just a whole different animal.
So Eric Davis was 0 for 2 with a walk against you.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So you got him out twice.
Does it say what those 2 outs were?
They weren't strikeouts. I could go back otherwise and find it, but yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
You like that one?
I do. Yeah. I do like that.
I would too.
Especially after I just said he was so intimidating.
Yeah. Why did he intimidate you? He couldn't hit you.
I love it.
That's a funny thing. Like, Edie still looks like he could play right now.
Totally. And still that same little stare too. I mean, I'm thankful that I know how nice of a guy he is, because I would be very scared to talk to him.
I was intimidated by him before I knew him. And a lot of that I think is because, like, the Sheffield thing you're talking about, like, I was a kid and I was like that was Superman.
Yeah. Well, Sheffield's an extremely nice guy too.
Yeah. I think I remember talking to him after the All-Star game in Atlanta. and we were just kind of like talking about something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to take you back to July
Okay.
14th, 1998. This is your first year in Cincinnati. You're a young guy. You've been in some games, you know, and you've pitched pretty well. You are put in a game that the Reds are leading 7-4 in St. Louis. Replaced
Oh.
Scott Sullivan.
Uh-huh.
Gary Gaetti. Jeez, look at these names. Wow. The names that you faced in this inning. Gary Gaetti comes
I
to
just
play.
remember the last. I remember the last name I faced in this.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
that makes the story even better.
Yeah.
But so what? Yeah. So what are you thinking? This is your first save. Is this your first save opportunity?
Yes. Jeff Shaw had just gotten traded right before the All-Star game. And he was the closer, obviously, for a few years, and a very good one. He just got traded after being named to the All-Star team as a Red, but he gets traded.
I remember that.
Yeah. So to the Dodgers, and he repped the Dodgers in the All-Star game. But we traded him for, do you remember offhand? Paul Konerko. I believe he was one of the, or maybe not. Paul Konerko was with us in 98. Paul Konerko came in the offseason, right?
I thought he was a draft. I thought
he was drafted by the Dodgers.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that. That was not in my Reds area.
Yeah, I'm totally just going all over the place. But here's the thing. So yeah, Jeff Shaw got traded right before the All-Star break, and we were.
But you're right. It was for Paul Konerko, and do you know who else? One of the great nicknames in all of sports.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Big Sweat.
Oh, Dennis Reyes. Oh, that's right. That's right. The Big Sweat.
Big Sweat is that is such a great nickname, and I don't think it's remembered enough, but it's one of my favorites.
Yes. And you couldn't have described him any better than Big Sweat.
Because both were quite evident.
Yeah. And I don't know if a lot of people might not even know his real name. They just know him as the Big Sweat. He should have trademarked that.
I mean, can you imagine Big Sweat branded sweat towels?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If he was playing this day and age, he would. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Social media, everything, just like the visuals would be fantastic.
Fantastic.
So, okay. So we're going, so when they trade Jeff Shaw, Jeff Shaw was the closer. You guys all knew that going in. Were you guys surprised when they traded him? And then, what are you thinking? Are you guys oh, I want to be the closer, or who's closing, or do you even think about that?
Didn't even really think about it. Everybody knew that Jeff Shaw's name was going around. And at the time, it was 95% sure that he was going to get traded. He even knew that he was going to get traded. And, he'd talk to the Reds a lot because he lived an hour away from Cincinnati, and he would commute every day. And, he's a big family guy. Travis, his kid who played in the big leagues, would come to the ballpark with him every single day. So we all knew that he was going to get traded, just as a matter of who he was going to go to. So he gets traded. And at the time, they told us that it was going to be closer by committee, kind of just matchups with myself and Gabe White. So righty lefty. So whoever was coming up in a safe situation, that's who was going to get the opportunity to do it. And the first one that came up, you mentioned Gary Gaetti right off the bat, a right-handed hitter. I get the opportunity to do it. And then I don't know the other names except the last one, but I got the first opportunity to get the save after Jeff Shaw got traded.
Yeah, because actually the day before, Gabe White got the win in the 13th.
Oh, okay. there.
Losing
Yeah.
pitcher, Bobby Witt Sr.
Oh my gosh.
That
Who
was the
my
previous game that Dave Witt. Yeah.
who turned into one of my agents after his playing career.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Who knew?
Yep.
That's
I know.
pretty interesting. Yeah, I was just trying to look back, like, oh, John Hudek. Like, yeah, this is fascinating. I love this. Is what's beautiful about baseball, right? So
He had a great nickname too, John Hudek. It was just amongst us on the team. We called him 3-2 Hootie.
yeah,
And because he was always 3-2, always full count. Didn't matter like who was batting, it was full count. So we called him 3-2 Hootie.
what was your favorite nickname for a teammate?
Oh, Big Sweat. It's really hard to beat the Big Sweat.
I mean,
yeah, Adam Dunn, the donkey,
big donkey. I
Um,
mean, Adam Dunn, one of the funniest people you will ever meet.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just the delivery cannot be beat.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh,
He's
hilarious.
Very quick-witted.
So you first batter is Gary Gaetti, and do you remember what happens?
Ground out to short, maybe.
Single to center.
Maybe it was a ground ball up the middle.
Yeah, it says pop fly, but yeah, I don't know. But like, yeah, it's not a hard hit, but like this is your first chance closing, and the first guy gets a hit, an 0-2 single too, which makes it even worse, right?
I must have sawed him off. If it was
Because it says pop fly single to center, single, yeah. And you're like, wait a minute.
He wasn't supposed to swing at that. No. See, my mentality as a pitcher, whether they're closing or not, was if the first guy got on, like I had so much confidence in getting 2 outs with 1 pitch. I had no problem with a runner on first. Like immediate thought was make a pitch and get a double play. Like,
yeah, I mean, you get Willie McGee comes in to pinch hit. All-timer.
Yeah.
All-timer.
Yeah.
You go 0-2 on him. And then there's a ball, and Gary Gaetti, who at this time is probably, I don't know, 83 years old. But, I mean, because he still didn't have the flaps. Wasn't he grandfathered in where he didn't have flaps on his batting helmet?
Yeah. Yeah, he had just a Scully. Yeah.
Whereas Willie McGee had both and always wore both like the Bronson Arroyo.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny just like that. So Gary Gaetti steals second base. So you were 0-2 to him and then 0-2 to McGee. Probably something off speed that you buried or something, trying to get something. And Gary Gaetti steals second base. I wonder, I'm going to look up later if it was the last stolen base of his career.
Or the only stolen base.
Right. And then, so now you have a guy on second. You have a 3-run lead. How much does that 3-run lead help?
3-run leads are nice, but I'd rather have a 1-run lead when I was pitching. I felt like,
but for your first save,
at the time I would probably say that it was very comforting that I had a 3-run lead. Yeah, at the time.
Did it feel different that day? Like I know this is a long time ago, 27 years ago, but did it feel different when you came in, nobody on, start of an inning, and the Cardinals fans going nuts?
Yes, it felt different for many reasons. Like the first save opportunity in the big leagues. Thankfully, it was a 3-run lead, and it was against my childhood favorite team. And Willie McGee him and Ozzie Smith were my favorite players growing up.
Fair.
So it made it even like more of a just special moment,
Yeah.
at Busch Stadium.
Right. No, that's awesome. That's
I saw a game there when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. It was like me going up and facing George Brett for the first time. It was like, whoa. Or maybe George Brett was my number one guy. But I'm guessing Ozzie Smith was your number one guy. So it was like facing Willie Wilson or Will Clark or somebody like I just loved that wasn't my guy. Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, it wasn't scary for me. It was like, this is awesome.
Well, man, now I'm looking at it and like what's even worse is, like you said, like, hey, I got this. I can get two outs with one pitch.
Mm-hmm.
The next pitch after Gary Gaetti steals, ground out to the third baseman. Taylor made double play, except guys on second.
Yeah. Okay, so one out. Gaetti's
One
on
out.
second.
Brian Hunter pinch hits.
Okay.
And bunts. Oh, bunt him over to third. Like,
no, he was probably bunting for a hit. I'd imagine.
I guess. Oh, was he a bunt? Yeah. Brian Hunter. Yeah, he could.
Because there's two Brian Hunters. The one that played for the Braves, and then the one that played for
the Cardinals.
Tigers.
Yes.
Tigers, and he actually played for us too.
Okay. Yeah. So catcher, first base. So you got two outs. Tom Pagnozzi is scheduled to bat ninth. Apparently, they had benched the guy that was on the bench. And what day did I say this was? The 14th.
July 14th.
And at this point, the guy who comes off the bench, who must have been struggling, had on July 14th, right around the All-Star break, had 40 home runs on July 14th. And you have a guy on, but a 3-run lead. But still, 1998. And I don't know if people remember 1998, but there were a lot of home runs that year. And for your first career save, but standing between you and your first career save has got to be one of the largest men you've ever seen at that point.
Yep.
Who has not missed many pitches.
Yeah.
And the ones that he didn't miss went really, really far.
Yeah.
And so Mark McGwire strolls to the plate. What's the walk-up song? You still remember?
Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh.
Yeah. And the crowd going nuts.
Right.
Yeah.
And like this is a crowd that came to see Mark McGwire that day. Because why wouldn't you? And instead doesn't get to see him, but then finally, chance that they're trying to win. What is that feeling like?
So I don't know if I had faced him before this. I did face him when he was with Oakland, when I was with Cleveland earlier in my career, but not when he was in this.
This is 1998 Mark McGwire.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, like hopefully people remember what that year was all about. Like that year brought a lot of baseball fans back to baseball after the strike.
And also like, I remember this, like this is the 14th of July. This is pre All-Star break. We're already doing a count because he has 40 home runs. And so every of his at bats. So I'm guessing like at the time, like, you have Baseball Tonight or whatever, and they're like, oh, well, Mark McGwire's not in here. And I could see them like, okay, hey, Mark McGwire comes to the plate against the Cincinnati Reds with the runner on in the ninth. Who's this young kid?
Yeah.
They just got rid of Jeff Shaw, and we would have loved to seen Jeff Shaw versus Mark McGwire. Instead, we have some kid we've never heard of.
Some 12-year-old that hasn't shaved a day in his life yet.
And do you remember what you did?
He grounded out to third.
But your first two pitches were balls.
I don't remember.
It was a 2-0 count. Yeah, so it was a 2-0 count. So not only is it Mark McGwire.
See if you can hit when you know a fastball's coming, Mark.
You haven't seen this fastball, Mark.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing about that day was knowing that even if he hit into Big Mac land, we're still up. We're still winning 7-6. And and it didn't really bother me if I gave up a home run. That whole year with McGuire or Sosa, I was okay if I gave up a home run as long as it didn't lose a game for us to these
Right,
guys because of what was happening.
40 other guys gave up home runs to him.
Yeah, and I know like he was exhausted at this part of the season. I even feel like the day before that he had a terrible game, so they gave him a day off. Pinch hit only. But like his mentally, he had said like things were like just so it was so much for him because the
Right.
media was always in his face. And then the
And
All-Star break, he didn't have an All-Star break.
he had no break. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
So,
like, it wasn't easy. Then like, you go to the All-Star game, and it's all about him.
yes. Yeah. And that's, I mean, it's tough to do when you're not, it's tough to be that guy when you're not normally that guy. And Mark McGuire wasn't one of these guys that is, very vocal, hanging out with the media or hanging out with, whoever. Like he was kind of to himself, just wanted to go play baseball. So it was adjustment for him. And I can understand the days off. In fact, later in the season, when he did break the record, he broke it the day before they came to Cincinnati to play us. We were in Houston on our last day, a getaway day in Houston, and we watched it on the Jumbotron, him breaking the record. And we were so disappointed, like, cause we all wanted to be the one to give up that home run. Not that we were
You did
try to give it up, but like we were okay if we gave it up. And if we had the opportunity to give it up, but we didn't. So he came the next day, and I think he got one at bat just because he wanted the fans in Cincinnati he wanted to show them his appreciation because they sold out.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he might have had one or two at bats. I'd have to look that up, but yeah, it was great that he was even able to do that for everybody.
On a tear at that point.
Yeah.
Because, he comes in and I'm looking at September, he had back-to-back 2-homer games at Florida. Then you guys come in town and he gets one against you in 3 games. Goes to Chicago and gets 2. Or I'm looking at the wrong one. No, that's right before there. So, yeah. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, he got 2 at bats the day after he broke the record in Cincinnati.
Yeah. He started and they pulled him. So he said, "Hey, I want to start." That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Went 0 for 2 and said, "I'm done."
Yeah. And it was great. I remember taking pictures with him in the back under the tunnel at Riverfront.
Really? So like you guys were all as enthralled as the rest of us, right? Like I'm my first year out of college. I just graduated college. I'm like, oh, this my first job, writing about high school football, and like we're watching every day. Like just the TVs are on. You guys are kind of feeling the same thing.
Oh my gosh, we were. There was not one player that was not all into this home run race going on, especially with Big Mac, because I don't know if anybody has seen his batting practice ability, but there was not one person in the clubhouse, the visiting clubhouse, when he was taking BP on the field, or even our clubhouse when he was at our place. Like every player was out there watching Mark McGuire take batting practice because he would hit balls like up into the upper deck of Riverfront at ease, and St. Louis up into Big Mac land with one hand. Like it was absolutely ridiculous watching him take batting practice. Yeah. And yes, I can tell you, we were all checking box scores to see if he hit another one.
That's really cool.
Yes.
We have gone way too long, but I still want to kind of get to this was the intro was longer than anything, but I love it. Like what makes closing different?
So you have to have a certain mentality to close. You can have the stuff, you can throw 110 miles an hour, whatever you want. If you don't have the mentality to be able to go out there and know that you're the last one left, and know that you don't have a binky, you don't have somebody else behind you as like seventh or eighth inning guys. And I'm not taking away their jobs or whatever. I'm
Right,
just
because you
saying,
did it.
yeah, the seventh or eighth inning guys, a lot of times they face the heart of the order. Then the closers, we get to face the bottom of the order, and you're the one that gets the notoriety for getting the save, but you also are the last one left. So you have to be able to handle, for example, a guy getting on first base with a 1-run lead. How are you going to pitch to them? Are you going to be able to hold the runner? Are you going to be able to get a ground ball double play if you need to? If you blow a save, are you going to be able to come back the very next day and convert a save? You have to have a short memory. If you don't, you can't be a ninth inning guy. You can be a seventh or eighth inning guy with a short memory because you always have the binky. You have the backup. You know that somebody else is going to come in and help. As a ninth inning guy, this is all you, all eyes on you, and you have to have that the drive to be able to handle these pressure situations. Like, and that's, I thrived for pressure. That's why I sucked as a starter in 03. Like, there was no pressure at the beginning of the game, no pressure until guys got on base, and it was like, oh, this is too late now. But with a 1, 2, or 3 run lead, there's pressure immediately when you come into that game, and it's whether you can handle that and slow it down, or are you going to fold. Not many guys, not a lot of guys can do the ninth inning. You got to find that certain mentality to be able to do it. It's different, man. It's a lot different.
Yeah. It's interesting because like even that next year you were in the bullpen and you got some saves, but you were coming in early. Like
Yeah.
when did you feel like a closer?
Probably not until 2000. Because 99, I split time with Scott Williamson. We were both converting saves. I had 27. He had 19 or 20.
He was an all-star, right?
Yes, and rookie of the year.
And rookie of the year, yeah.
We were going back and forth, and where Scott Sullivan would eat up all the innings and get all the tough outs, and me and Williamson would come in like the 8th and 9th and finish the game. Like, because Jack McKeon was the manager. He was old school. He was Goose Gossage years. Like, I'm going to throw my reliever out there, and if he's dominating, he's going to finish the game. So sometimes we'd come in the 7th inning. Sometimes it'd be 8th and 9th. And I loved that. I absolutely loved it. That was the year I threw over 100 innings out of the pen, 75 games. But it was great. It was great because I just knew that I was counted on, and I was trusted to finish games. But yeah, 2000, I think, was the when I finally realized that I am the closer.
How like it feels like the industry, like just baseball discussion. Discourse was the word I was looking for that I couldn't find. Baseball discourse, like it seems like we've kind of come full circle on the closer. Like, remember, it's like, oh, the closers are a closer or a closer. And then it was like, hey, anybody can do this. And it seems like we're kind of back to the other one where it's like, you know what? It's good. You guys want to know roles. Why is that so important?
Well, I think it's pretty important because you know how to prepare before that your time comes. My first couple years in the big leagues, especially with Cleveland, my role was a mop-up guy. So I knew that, I know it doesn't sound glorious, but I knew what my role was. I knew that if it was a close game, I'm probably not going to have to mentally prepare myself to pitch. If it was a blowout either way, I'm already, okay, who do I have to face? Who am I going to face coming up, to keep this game from getting out of hand or to eat up innings for the rest of the team? That was my role at the time. So before Jeff Shaw gets traded, my role was a setup guy. whether the lefty came before me or I came before the lefty until we got to Jeff Shaw, I knew at a certain time of the game that this is when I'm coming in, this is the chance that I have coming in. I wasn't going to come in the second inning. I wasn't going to come in the fourth inning. So you mentally prepare throughout the game. And especially as a closer, you have a certain routine. I was doing something different every inning from second inning, third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning on. Like I had a different routine because I knew I was only pitching the ninth inning. And occasionally when I was just a closer alone, there was times I would come in the eighth inning too, but you're still prepared to finish the game. I think everybody's a lot more comfortable when they know their role because they can already almost be warmed up before they get the call.
Right, because you see it coming and you know what you have to do, and you're going to be ready. That's why, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I never thought of it like this. Like, that's why relievers can get ready so early, because they're prepared to, that call is going to be them. They know.
And I don't know what the phones sound like these days, but when I was in the bullpen, there was a certain ring. Like you could hear the ring from a mile away. And if you were already mentally prepared, as soon as that phone rang, it's like you're like this, getting ready to get up out of your chair and start going to get loose. If you don't know your role and the phone rings, you're like turning around, waiting to see if it's you. Is it me? Is it me?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, now you got to get physically ready and mentally ready at the same time. And that's not easy to do.
So if I'm pulling out, 2 years prior to your first save, 2 years and a day, you are a young, fresh-faced kid straight from the minor leagues at the Metrodome.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing when it's when your team is leading 18-6 in the sixth, you're like, yeah, this is a gravy time.
Oh yeah. I don't know how many, like, I just remember the first few innings, our team was mashing, and which that team mashed a lot with the, so we were scoring a ton of runs, and I'm like, this could be the day. This could be my debut. And for 2 weeks, I got called up 2 weeks prior to that. I got called up June 29th of that year. So I went a full 2 weeks without pitching. I warmed up a couple times, but then the game ended up getting closer. So they sat me down, and they told me they wanted to make sure that I had a comfort level to where, for my debut, they didn't want to put me in any kind of crazy situations. They wanted to make sure that I had some leeway, whether it was us ahead by a lot or us down by a lot. That year, we weren't down by a lot much with Cleveland. So
Tomei Bell Ramirez. Yeah. Kenny Lofton.
Vizquel.
Carlos Baerga.
Sandy Alomar Jr. We had Tony Pena. And this was when Jim Thome was the third baseman. Like, he wasn't a first baseman yet. So Eddie Murray was on this team. So yeah, we were stacked, and like a lot of the games weren't blowouts until this particular game. And I just knew, I'm like, this is it. Just get me in the game. Just get me into the game. So I wasn't nervous for my debut because especially 2 weeks.
You had plenty of time too, because going into the top of the sixth, you guys were up 12-6 and then put up a 6 spot in the sixth. So you enter 18-6.
And I was already warming up when it was 12-6. So yeah, so I had to warm up and then wait.
And then you threw a couple pitches, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting that you said that, because I looked it up. So
yeah, my very first pitch was a strike. I'll never forget it. Tony Pena was catching, and Tim Tashida was the umpire.
And Pat Mears was the coach, or was the hitter.
Was the hitter, yeah.
And then he doubled.
Yep, he did.
Then Denny Hawking, your first strikeout.
Yep.
And hey, Molitor didn't get a hit.
Did I face him that game?
Yeah, he reached on E4. Becker scores, Molitor to first.
Nice.
So E4, that was after Rich Becker cleared the bases with a triple.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like,
faced Chuck Knobloch. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Like
Yeah.
I hopefully like somebody cares about this other than me, but I don't know. It's just a lot of fun.
It is a
Yeah.
lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Like I try to talk to other players too about their experiences and what they remember about certain times of their career, because it's awesome to hear these kind of stories, you know. And we all have them. We all have them. And if anybody's lying, you can always look it up, which is great. Which is great.
Yeah, it which is or just misremembered. It's not necessarily a lie. You know, there's a difference between a lie and a mistake. So,
True. Very true. Very true. Um,
misremember because like, you know, you're not trying to fool anybody that like, oh, I got Denny Hawking out, you know.
yeah. Yeah. I know I struck out 3 batters that game. I don't remember who else. I think Pat Mears might have been another one after he doubled his first at bat. Um,
Let's
but the
see.
ball looked very, very big to everybody that day at the Metrodome.
Oh, I
A
bet.
lot of runs, both
Yeah,
sides.
and you're like, we can get these back. Oh, that's right. You pitched the second inning. Wow.
I pitched 2 innings that game.
Yeah, the second inning, you got Pat Mears. After he had doubled, so you got your revenge. Struck out Denny
Right.
Hawking. Struck out Scott Stahoviak. How's that for a name?
Oh, Scott Stahoviak. I don't remember that strikeout, but
Yeah, that was your second one.
okay.
And then yeah, you walked Hackett the next time. Then Jeff Rabelais flew out to end your day. Oh, and of course, you guys scored 3 runs. So you gave up 3,
We scored
and
3
then
right after.
you guys got 3 back.
Nice.
You want to talk about no pressure?
Yeah, none, because that offense scored a ton of runs all the time. So no pressure whatsoever.
Kenny Lofton. Oh man, you want to talk about a guy that
I hope he
has
gets in the Hall of
always
Fame.
bugged me that he fell, and I know why, and I could explain this at a different time to get on this conversation, and maybe we should because, how's this for our audio listeners will certainly not understand what I'm doing, but our video listeners, this came in the mail while I was gone this weekend. So, yeah.
When do you have to have that in your official vote, right?
Yeah, it goes in. It has to be postmarked by December 31st.
Okay. Do you
And
know
so-
who you are voting for yet, or do we save that for next
No.
episode?
It is. Oh, we'll save it for later, but we can talk about it. I have this notebook that I've been keeping since I've been a voter. And it's my Hall of Fame notebook, and I do my notes and everything. I do a lot of work on my Hall of Fame vote.
Could I see that one day in person?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic.
So yeah, it's funny, like this thing used to like be elastic and stretch there, and I've been using it like that's how long so my first Hall of Fame ballot was for the 2015 induction. So I've been voting since 2014. And Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, I voted for. Like
that first year?
Yeah. I voted for a lot because I did a lot of different things, and that was when I okay, we'll get into Hall of Fame stuff later. In a different episode because we're already long. But so holy crap, we're almost an hour. Tony Santillan.
Yeah.
What makes him able to close? Why are you so confident that he can do it?
Well, forget stuff wise. I feel like he's got that mentality of if I fail, give me the ball again. And like, I just want the ball. You know, I'll come in any situation against righty or lefty, and I just want the ball every time out. And he's durable. So those right there, the mentality that he has and being durable is a huge plus. Now, if he's that guy every single day, it's still unknown, but he does have some saves under his belt already. Like he's done it, just hasn't done it for a full season. But I mean, before I became a closer, I'd never, like my first year, 98, I ended up with 8 saves. So he had 7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know until you give it a shot.
It's funny. Like, I remember he pitched the 24th, 25th, and 26th, 3 days in a row.
Which
And
nobody does anymore.
and the 27th is, again, like the 26th was at Milwaukee. And this is the Friday before the last 2 games of the season. And he pitched 3 days in a row. And Saturday was a close game, if you remember. And Tito was like, I was trying to hold Tony back. Tony was like, I am available. Put me in.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was like, I'm glad it didn't, like, he was like, nobody wanted to talk to Tony because he wanted to be in so badly. And
Yeah.
Tony is like total Jekyll and Hyde. One of the nicest human beings you will meet. Like a really smart, conscientious, great guy.
Except
But
on the field.
except on the mound, they call him Oso, which your Spanish you will know is for bear. And it is like a teddy bear and a grizzly bear. So, yeah.
I mean, nothing else needs to be said. Like you wouldn't have to convince me otherwise that this is a guy that I could at least give a shot to be the closer, to be that guy. Because of that, you're not going to find many players these days that says, Skip, I need to pitch today. I want the ball today. I don't care how much I've pitched. We're in a pennant race. It's the last week of the season. If you need me to pitch, I want to pitch. I don't need a day off. A lot of players don't do that anymore. Do you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I think, I think there are a lot who will say it and there's a lot who mean it. But there are fewer who mean it. Mm-hmm. And the Reds were lucky last year because they had some of those guys. Like, when you go back to the Reds last year, Tony Santillan had 80 appearances, which was second most in baseball, right?
Yeah.
Or the National League, I think. I don't remember if it was just that. But, so you have him there, and it is, it's just like, then you had like Scott Barlow went every day. And like, when Rogers was there, he went every day. Brent Suter's gonna go every day. And Emilio Pagán. Like, they actually, I think that was the strength of that bullpen, were their big guys, maybe not as much in name, but in service time. Mm-hmm. Their veteran players last year, pitchers, relievers, were very much give me the ball guys. Graham Ashcraft, his first year in the bullpen, pitched in 62 games out of the bullpen.
And he did fantastic.
Yeah, and he was good. Scott Barlow took, 68 innings, 75 appearances. Nick Martinez is just an anomaly because he'd be like, oh, give me the ball every day, Skip. And, oh, you need me to throw 6? Sure. I got the save yesterday, but I'll go 6 today. Sure.
Yeah. But again, like, you get veteran guys that are doing that. The younger guys can feed off that. And they're like,
because you saw Jeff Shaw. Like, you watched Jeff Shaw. You watched an all-star closer. And that is, I can't imagine that you weren't like mentally taking notes of everything Jeff Shaw did.
Oh, I was so far like in his head. Like, I wanted to know everything. I wanted to know how he's so good because he did not have electric stuff. He had a nasty cutter, but his fastball was low 90s, maybe mid 90s occasionally. But this dude just knew how to get outs in the 9th inning. And I was just like a puppy dog following him around.
Yeah. And that makes sense because, like, you're not a stuff guy.
Exactly.
You have good stuff.
Right. That I tell people all the time, my stuff doesn't play. It's the mentality that helped my stuff play.
And it's that mentality that makes a closer.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, awesome. Sorry we went so long, people. If anybody makes it to this point, let us know. If you made it this point, I don't have to ask when I say to rate and review to rate kindly, because if you made it this far, you probably liked it. Because otherwise you'd be long gone. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great holiday. Danny,
Yes. You
really
too.
hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for you and your like friendship, and this has been so much fun.
Yes.
I'm gonna get complained to because like this is way too long, but you know it's a long weekend. You got a long drive.
Yeah. I mean, and it was kind of fun talk. It wasn't just like nonsense. We actually
No,
talked about cool stuff.
yeah, we're good.
At least we think it was cool.
You know what? So I was telling somebody this the other day. When I write for an audience of one, and that's me.
Uh-huh.
Because like my first thing is like when I write, I want to write something that interests me. I always start with a question.
Mm-hmm.
And like if it's something I don't understand, I want to understand why somebody did what they did. I don't I don't care about saying, "Well, you're wrong and I'm so much smarter, I would do this." No, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"You did this for a reason. You have information I don't. Make it make sense to me." And I will say that's like one of the things that Nick Kroll is really good at.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate in press conferences, but you've talked to Nick, and it's like
Yeah.
that's the reason I see that. And there are even times where I don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
For the vast majority of things, I will see and understand. I still don't understand Jamer Candelario. I've said that since the signing, but you know, but that doesn't mean that he's wrong or whatever and won't ever be right again. But you know, anywho,
Yeah.
so that's why not just make this even longer. So you know, if you're here, please subscribe to Riverfront Territory on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Share, review, give us 5 stars. And yeah, we'll be back next week. I hope everybody has a great vacation. That next week is leading up to the winter meetings. So
Oh,
yeah.
exciting.
So it's the week before the winter meetings. The winter meetings start on the 7th. And yeah, so that should be good. Danny and I will be back then here on Riverfront Territory. And Riverfront Territory is part of the Foul Territory Network. So thank you. Thanks for listening. And thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Trent. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving to you, buddy.
You as well. Best to you and yours. Enjoy that turkey.